Imagine loving someone with your entire soul, but without ever needing them. Imagine holding their hand, feeling their warmth, hearing them laugh, and knowing deeply that if they walked away tomorrow, you would still be whole, still grounded, still at peace. Is that even love, or is that something more? Centuries ago, high atop the marble columns of ancient Greece and the bustling streets of Rome, the Stoics whispered a secret about love, not the love of fairy tales and obsession, not the desperate clinging we often mistake for romance, but a love so pure, so free, that it could not be broken because it was never chained. This is the Stoic secret to healthy relationships, love without attachment. At first it sounds cold, detached, even unfeeling. How can someone love deeply and yet not be attached? Isn't love supposed to be about merging hearts, giving your all, needing each other? That's what we've been told, but what if we've been misled? The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, saw love differently. To them, the most powerful love is not the one that consumes, but the one that frees. They taught, you don't possess people, you experience them. Epictetus put it this way: when you kiss your child or your wife, say to yourself that you are kissing a mortal, for when they die, you will not be upset. To modern ears, that sounds heartless, but it's not a lack of love, it's clarity. When you truly understand the impermanence of life, you love more fully, not less, because you're not loving out of fear, not clinging out of insecurity. You're not using someone to fill your own void. You're loving them as they are, here, now, for as long as fate allows. You see, Stoic love isn't about building a cage, it's about opening a window. Picture this. A man walks along the shore. He finds a beautiful seashell, vibrant and delicate. He holds it gently, admires its colors, its perfect spiral, but he doesn't put it in his pocket. He places it back on the sand. Why? Because its beauty isn't his to own, it's his to witness. That's what loving without attachment looks like. But in our world, we are taught the opposite. We confuse love with control. Where are you going? Why didn't you text back? You're mine. We call it romantic, passionate, but it's fear wearing a mask. It's insecurity dressed in red roses. We've been conditioned to think love means dependency, that we need someone to complete us, that without them, we're lost. But let me ask you something. If your entire world collapses when one person leaves, was it love or was it addiction? This is where Stoicism becomes radical, liberating. It says, love with your whole heart, but never forget, you are whole already. When Marcus Aurelius lost his children, his wife, his friends, he grieved, but he didn't crumble. He understood that every soul is just passing through. He wrote, receive without pride, let go without attachment. And that's the paradox. Detachment doesn't mean disconnection, it means presence. When you aren't obsessed with keeping someone, you actually start to see them, hear them, appreciate them. You're not thinking, will they leave? You're thinking, how beautiful is this moment we share right now? So how do we get there? How do we love without attachment, without becoming numb or distant? It starts with this: you must become your own home. When you build your self-worth on someone else's approval, every argument feels like an earthquake. But when you are rooted in who you are, when you trust yourself, love yourself, stand by yourself, then love becomes a gift you give, not a lifeline you grasp. That's inner security, and that's what Stoicism cultivates. Try this. Next time you feel jealous, clingy, afraid someone might leave, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing, them or the part of me I gave away? Because here's the truth. You can love someone and let them walk away. You can be heartbroken and still whole. You can care deeply and still let go without bitterness, without regret. Not because you didn't love enough, but because you loved clearly. Let's make this real. Think of someone you love right now. Maybe it's a partner, a parent, a child, a friend. Imagine they vanish tomorrow, not out of malice, just gone. Painful? Of course, but would you still be you? Would you still have your values, your purpose, your dignity? If the answer is no, it's time to shift, to come back to yourself. Because you are not half of a whole. You are a complete flame, not a flicker waiting for someone to ignite you. The Stoics weren't against love, they revered it, but they didn't need it to survive. And maybe that's why their love was so powerful. Because when you don't need someone, you choose them every day. Not because they complete you, but because you admire them, because you respect their soul, because together your fire burns brighter, not hotter, not wilder, but clearer. Imagine a world where love isn't about possession, but presence. Where you can say to someone, I love you, but if you walk away, I'll still walk forward, and I'll still smile when I think of you. That is freedom, that is power, that is Stoic love. So the next time you feel yourself clinging, remember this. Love without attachment is not less love. It's a deeper love, a wiser love. It's love without fear. You are not here to cage anyone, and no one is here to complete you. You are here to love fiercely, clearly, freely, and let go when life says, it's time. So go on. Love with your whole heart, and hold nothing too tightly. Because real love doesn't need to hold. It simply is. And that is the Stoic secret.